Hello, hello. Tanse everyone. Oki, bonjour, hello. Welcome to another fabulous Tuesday. It is last stream time. My apologies for last week. I completely spaced to announce that I was going to be at Mascarawa, and it was really lovely to be drumming and singing with some fabulous human beings. I just loved it. And so I'm back this week. We are fast approaching May 5th, and if you don't know what's happening on May 5th, it is Red Dress Day. That's where we march for murdered and missing Indigenous women, girls, Two-Spirit people, our family members, any exploited people. I think it's important to just raise voices up for every event. And even if you're an ally, showing up is half the battle. Then when you're there, you tend to meet some amazing people and know kind of what to do moving forward. So I think that's such a beautiful gift. And so I just wanted to say hello and welcome everyone today. I will be smudging today. I think that's really important. But before I start, I just always like to acknowledge the land upon which we stand. Depending on where you are, it depends, of course, on the land acknowledgement. But I live in Mohkinstis, which is in Treaty 7 territory. And Mohkinstis means elbow in Blackfoot, and so it's where the Bow River and the Elbow River meet. It's always been a confluence, a traditional place of bringing people together for trade and for ceremony and for learning from each other, building community together in a good way. And I think that energy has really brought me to this place, and has brought me where I feel home, I feel safe, I feel secure here. I feel like community and family has just really come together here. I think every city has an energy, and for me, Mohkinstis, Calgary, this is my place, this is my home, and I love it here. And so I wanted to welcome everyone just by acknowledging the people of this area. So I acknowledge the Blackfoot, or the Nitsitapi, or Nitsitapi, depending on who you talk to, of Siksika, Kaina, and Bagani. I'm so thankful because I've met so many amazing elders from all of those communities that have just shared so much knowledge and wisdom with me. And I feel so very blessed to have been, working alongside them with some projects for just going out for tea and hanging out or doing a grocery run. I think that's such a beautiful gift to be able to share your time, and even when you're not going for any specific purpose, just hanging out, it's a really beautiful way to get to know people. And the Blackfoot elders that I've been able to hang with and have the privilege of calling some of them my aunties, I feel really comfortable and just really open. Like, I feel like they've just opened their hearts and their lives and their communities and their family. So I think that's truly what community should be. It should always just feel like family, like our adopted family. I also wanted to acknowledge the Startsi Dene of Tsutsuna. I've also been out there for lots of ceremonies. And it's always a gift to be able to go out there, and now they have so many amazing things. My mom's like, I'm going to Costco, so I'm like, okay, have fun on the reserve. But she loves it there. I actually haven't gone to the Costco yet. I'm terrible. I don't know why I haven't gone to the Costco out there yet, but I definitely should. But I have been to some incredible ceremonies up there, and I'm just really blessed to have been, included. And I feel like there's more family members. I think family is who you create. It's who you connect with, and it's who you can learn from each other and support each other with. I also want to acknowledge the the Stoney Nakoda of Morley, which includes Chiniki, Bears Paw, and Big Stony First Nations, as Wesley just changed its name, and so there's a bunch of plaques in the city that need to be changed. So even if it's just like a sticker for now. But I'm just really thankful. Every time I go to Sweat out there, it's incredible. It's incredible to be able to connect to the mountains, and the air out there is just so amazing and pure, and I've had some pretty magical experiences out there on that land. So I'm just really thankful to be where I am, to be here in Mulkinstis. And so to welcome everyone in a good way, I wanted to share with you the Cree welcome song. Traditionally, when we sing songs, we sing in rounds of 4 to honor the 4 directions of the medicine wheel. But this song's a little different. We sing it in rounds of 3 to keep the circle open and welcoming, so everyone completes the circle today. Because in a circle, we're all connected. There's no beginning, there's no end, no one is greater or less than anyone else in the circle, just like in the hoop of life. So it teaches us to honor each other for those differences, because if we were exactly the same, the world it would be really boring. I mean, come on, there would be no color. And so it's nice that we all have these differences. So it teaches us to come into the circle without judgment and not to compare ourselves to others, because by comparing yourself to someone else, you're diminishing your light, you're diminishing how amazing you are. And it makes it hard for you to find your path. So just forget what everybody else says, forget what everybody else is doing, just find your own path. And that's when everything unfolds in front of you. And so it's such a gift. I wish we learned it earlier in life, because I think a lot more people would be a lot happier. And so this song is from Joseph Natao, and I'm really thankful. I ended up having a good conversation with him and with his associate Cheryl, and I'm definitely going to be posting a little blurb about like where to find his music and things like that, because it's really helped me along my journey. And I just don't have that copyright information yet, but as soon as I do, I'm going to update all of my live streams. So yeah, Mia Sin, it doesn't just mean welcome. Although it does welcome in all of our ancestors, and I feel as soon as I sing it, I feel like my ancestors are just coming in from all directions to join me on this journey. But it also means beautiful. Miasen, miasen, hasemina, hasemina, epentakote, niwagomagan, hota, homa, kitaskino, miasen, miasen, hasemina, hasemina, epentakote, niwagomagan, hota, homa, kitaskino, miasen, miasen, hasemina, hasemina, epentakote, niwagomagan, hota, homa, kitaskino. Hi, and welcome to the circle, everybody. And I totally forgot to shut off my phone, so I'm going to do that now. My apologies. Whoops. There we go. All right. And so I'm just really thankful and humbled. And today we're going to start with a smudge. So I've been smudging all day, so I'm feeling really relaxed. Because every time you smudge, you feel like this weight has just been lifted off your shoulder. And so I'm very blessed. I was gifted some sage from a friend of mine. Thank you, Nairi. And I'm very, very appreciative because I was running low. And so I'm going to use her sage today to smudge. But first, I'm going to talk very quickly about the medicines that I have laid out and just my teachings very briefly behind it. Oh, she also gifted me some cedar, which I'm super excited for. And so the first medicine I have, sweetgrass. Oh, where'd that come from? A sage stem. Sweetgrass being connected to the mind. It's being connected to the men's medicine, childhood, grandfather, son. Whenever I get a lot of anxiety, especially around my email, I tend to smudge with a lot of sweetgrass, and it makes me feel like that much more grounded, that much more connected mentally, a little bit more focused, and easy to kind of tackle on those things, all of those things. And so sweetgrass on my medicine wheel is in the east. Again, these are just my teachings. Everyone has different teachings depending on what nation they're from, and so it's not right or wrong, it's just different. It's what's right for you on your path, not this is the be all end all, because everyone's from different places. Everybody has different medicines where they're from, different ways of looking at the world. And so it's not a rigid thing. It's always a fluid thing. And your teachings can change throughout your lifetime depending on your experiences and who you've been taught by. And so I think that's something that's really important to remember. And so, yeah, that being said, that's my teaching. It's in the East. In the south, we have cedar. Thank you so much again, Nairi, for bringing me this beautiful cedar from BC. And cedar is that connection to our physical body. It's our connection to the south and the physical earth. It's connection to the summertime when all of the plants grow. And it's a connection to ourselves, to remember to build that relationship with ourselves and to remember to build that relationship with the earth. And it's a decongestant, so I think I'm kind of allergic to snow mold, so I've been kind of sniffly and sneezy the last little bit as all the snow has been melting. And so I probably should have some cedar tea pretty quick. The next medicine we have is sage. This is all that beautiful sage. This is buffalo sage, also known as prairie sage or buffalo grass, sometimes people call it. But it grows in abundance around here. I was taught when I was in Arizona that whatever types of sage grow in abundance, that's what you smudge with, and depending on where you're from. This is why if we were down in like the southern states, so when I lived in Arizona, for example, we would always smudge with white sage or desert sage. But here, to me, it smells weird because it's not meant to be smudged with up here because it doesn't grow up here. With the exception of like down kind of close to the Montana border, there's like some of it that grows right by Writing on Stone and right by Medicine Hat. Then again, there's rattlesnakes in Medicine Hat. Don't want to tangle with those guys. But I'm just going to grab some extra. Beautiful, beautiful. And now, if you've been saving your sage stems throughout the year, like I have been, now it's starting to be nesting season. So throw those sage stems outside because those birds are going to come and take them for their nests, which is really awesome. I started throwing some on my yard yesterday, or no, a few days ago. Probably not yesterday. On Friday, I think. And then every night I would come home and it was gone. So yeah, they're eager to get these right now. So if you do have sage stems, definitely throw them onto your yard for all of those birds. If you don't have a yard, just throw them in like the nearest park. All the birds will be very, very happy because, you know, who doesn't love nesting stuff? Awesome. Perfect. And so that is sage. That's connected to the west. It's the women's medicine. It's connected to Grandmother Moon. And the water, because of course Grandmother Moon cycles the tides, and we cycle as women with the moon, and so that's why it's connected. But we're also a balance of masculine and feminine, and that's what it reminds us of. You know, we have to have that balance. It's not one or the other, it's both. And two spirit people are just a little bit more outward balance of both, and that's really important because those are the people in our nations that would be sacred. They were the ones that were filling in the gaps. And they're busy. I'm like, and now it hasn't changed. Two spirit people, we're busy, usually. All right, so I'm going to put that in my beautiful smudge bowl. And then the last medicine that I have to honor is tobacco. I'm just really thankful. I keep getting gifted tobacco, and I'm saving it up for all of the ceremonies that are going to be happening this summer. And so, yeah, and all the visits with elders I'm hoping to do once I get less busy. And so, putting all that together, I'm going to use matches to light my smudge. One of the teachings that I have is you don't use a lighter because it disrespects the relationship that you have with the earth, because we're not entitled to the butane, we're not entitled to the plastic or to the metal. And so by putting a lighter onto the medicine, it's actually automatically disrespecting the relationship, and you don't want to do that. And so we always want to make sure that we're honoring the medicine in a good way. If all you have is a lighter, use one of your sage stems or a stick to light the medicine, but don't actually put the lighter directly on there. If you're wearing any metal, definitely take it off. Am I wearing metal? Oh, I am wearing metal. This is metal. There we go. And I'm very thankful for this beautiful find. Found it in Muscat cheese. Awesome. Fan it with, I always fan it with my hand or a feather. I had a feather, but I have a cat. So I do not have a feather anymore. I have 2 cats. It's double jeopardy for losing feathers in my house. There we go. So I found it with my hand. You never want to blow on it because your breath is your life and your life is precious and you don't waste that for anybody. Well, the first thing I do is I just clean my hands in it so that anything I'm carrying I get rid of. I bring it over my body 4 times to honor the 4 directions in my body. And I smudge my mind so I can think clearly and learn from every person that crosses my path. To remind myself to be open-minded and never rigid with my thinking. To think good thoughts, because thoughts become reality. And also to honor my brain, because my brain is awesome. I'm just going to flip that over a bit. There we go. Wasn't getting enough oxygen from that angle. I'm going to smudge my ears so that I can listen twice as much as I speak, so I can be open to hear all of the messages that Creator sends me, so I can hear the voice not only of people, but of all of the plants and animals, to give thanks for my hearing, so that I can use it fully and completely, the way it's been meant to, as a gift. Smudge my eyes, so I can see all of the beauty that surrounds me, to give thanks for my vision, so I can see the unseen, but also so I can see the truth in everyone around me. See people fully and completely for who they are, and see the earth completely for who it is, and all of those truths in nature. I smudge my nose, so I can smell danger, and nature, and cookies, and chocolate eggs that are melted into my couch. Do not hide chocolate eggs in couches, Easter Bunny. I'm going to smudge my mouth so I can speak good things. Before I speak, I always say, is it truthful? Is it helpful? Is it kind? And if it's none of those things, don't say it, don't do it. Smudge my throat. I'm very thankful for my voice this lifetime, so we can give voice to the voiceless and honor everyone's voices around us. Smudge my lungs, so I breathe good, clean air and honor the sacred breath that we all share with the plants and the animals and the ancestors. I smudge my heart, so I remember to be kind and compassionate and show unconditional love to all those around me, to my family, my friends, myself, and all my relations, which is everything and everyone around us. I smudge my stomach, so all of the food that I eat this day is going to nourish my body in a good way and keep me healthy. And I smudge my belly button so that I honor that sacred connection that I have to my spirit, because that's where you're connected before you come into this world. So that's where your spirit speaks through you and to you, and your intuition is never wrong. I smudge my womanhood, because I'm very thankful to be a woman and a mother in this time, but also to be a 2-spirit woman and carry those teachings within me. I'm going to smudge my shoulders and my back, so I can carry all of my responsibilities in a good way, with grace, humility, strength, and courage. I smudge my arms and my hands, so I can do the good work that Creator's put me here to do. I smudge my legs, so I find my path in a good way. I walk along it with respect, and it leads me through honesty and truth, and towards the wisdom that I need. And then I'm going to smudge my feet, so I stay grounded and connected to Mother Earth, walking lightly upon her and honoring her with every step, showing good respect to the earth as well. And then if there's anywhere in your body you need a little extra love, I was making rattles this weekend, so my back always gets really sore when I'm making rattles for some reason. And then I smudge my hips as well. And then if there's anyone in your life that needs a little extra love, maybe they need some healing, maybe they're going through something, whether that be emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, you want to be able to send them that love and appreciation, that healing, so that they can heal in a good way. It's just sending that good intention to them. And then when you're all done, you just say thank you in your language. So hi or miigwech or merci would be me. Masi cho, gracias, xie donkshane, merci, shukran. I'm learning. Kids are teaching me other languages, so it's really cool. And I usually just let it burn out. Some people ask me, is it okay to like film smudging? And there's differences in the smudging. So sometimes if it is like a ceremony, then no, we don't smudge. So if it's like associated with a prayer, then we don't record the smudging. If it's a public smudge like this, so this is a teaching smudge. So yes, I do allow recordings during a teaching smudge. This is why I do it online. And if it's a personal smudge, then no. Like, who's watching me do a personal smudge? Like, what's happening? So I think it's important to understand and distinguish between the different kinds of smudging, because some people might get really upset and be like, no, we're not supposed to record this. Or some people might not know and they go to record a ceremonial smudge, and that's a no-no. You're not allowed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. So it's knowing and explaining the difference so people feel comfortable when they are around the different varieties of smudging, and so that they feel more connected. And it's being open to let people ask questions. And you know, it's okay to make mistakes, but you got to correct them, and don't jump down someone's throat or else they're never going to learn. And so yeah, this is why I do it the way that I do it. So hi everyone. And before that goes out, I have made a drum and I blessed it today, but I wanted to smudge it again because I wanted to hear her voice before I send her off to her new home tomorrow. Awesome. And so I've got to cut off her belly buttons too, but ta-da, this is what I made for someone, which is going to be really awesome. I hope they appreciate it. And so I'm going to share a song. Whee! Oops, if I can get this out of the way. Awesome. Also, if anybody's interested, I'm doing Métis finger weaving this weekend coming up at Arts Commons. And so, yeah, I'll be weaving sashes. The first day we start at 3:30, and then the second day we start at 1:30. The first day is the basics. So just the introduction. If you can wrap your head around it and you're like, yeah, I'm confident, I want to come to the advanced, then the advanced is the next day. But if you're like, I need to practice on my own a little bit, then maybe save the advanced for later. And so the song that I'm going to share, I think it's the song that's in my head right now, is the bird song. So this song kind of came to me when I was in the Weaselhead Park. And I was kind of like, oh, what am I going to write about? What am I going to sing about? What am I going to drum about? And then I kept hearing the blue jay. And the blue jay is pretty amazing because it helps out its community. It calls out to warn other birds if there's danger in the area. It can actually mimic other birds' calls. So if there's a bird that dies, it'll actually step in and take care of its young, but it'll use the voice of the mama bird that had been passed away, which is pretty crazy cool. So that the babies know their voice, which I think is really neat. And so this is really about honoring the voices of your ancestors as they come through you. And so I call it the Ancestral Bird Song. share a quick story. So this is my auntie's story, and it was funny. I was telling the story, and this whole class of kids was just like, oh, "We know this," and they started kind of losing it at me, and I was like, "You do?" And then they brought me my auntie's book, and I started tearing up. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So my auntie Frida Hinnekew, she used to share this story sometimes when we were kids, and she ended up putting it in a book, and so definitely there's more flourishes in my story because I like to just go all out with stories. But it's how the mouse got its brown teeth. And so a long time ago, there was a little boy who lived with his cookum. I'm going to slide up a little closer so I can tell the story a little bit better. And this little boy, he was an amazing tracker. Like, he could tell how big an animal was, or what kind of animal it was, or even like, you know, how far along the animal was if the animal was pregnant by its tracks. And it would be able to see where it was going and where it lived. And he knew all of the tracks in the forest. He knew every single animal because he was such a fantastic tracker. Not only was he a great tracker, he was a great trapper. He was fantastic. He was the best snare weaver in the world. Like, everybody came to him for snares because he was that good at weaving snares. And he loved to wander and loved to explore. And one day he kind of went a little bit further off the beaten track, a little bit further out in the forest than he had ever gone before. And then he discovered this track that he had never seen before. It was huge and wide, and he was trying to figure out what kind of an animal would make that. It was way bigger than a bear or a moose or any of the larger animals. It didn't really have prints per se, but it almost looked like if a giant snake had wandered through an area, and he was trying to figure out what it was because it had pushed all the grasses down and all of the trees had cleared out of its way, and it left kind of brown marks, almost looked like burning, and he was wondering what this creature was. And he really was hoping to see it. And so he waited for the rest of the afternoon because he had got out there pretty late. And he didn't see it the whole day. And he was wondering, well, I wonder when this animal will come back. Maybe if I get there first thing in the morning, I'll be able to see it. And so the very next day, he woke up really early. And the first thing he did was head straight there. And he waited the entire day and did not see whatever animal was making his tracks. And so he thought, well, maybe it only comes out at night, but maybe I can catch it and then I'll be able to see what it is. And so he got to work making a snare. He spent days and nights and days and nights, 4 whole days and 4 whole nights to make the perfect snare that was big enough, but also safe enough for whatever this creature was. And so after he'd finished weaving it all together, he was so proud of it. And his grandma saw him leaving the house with this beautiful snare. And she reminded him, okay, grandson, you know the rules. Don't leave a snare out overnight because you don't ever want an animal to suffer. He's like, I know, Cookum, it'll be fine. And so he left without another word. And he went to that one place in the forest where that track has always been. And he laid down this big, beautiful snare. And he waited and he waited. But, well, whatever that animal was didn't come. And so he headed home. Exhausted from his day of setting up that snare because it was such a large snare to set up, but hopeful that the next day maybe he would find whatever this animal was, be able to see it, and of course release it afterwards. And so he went to sleep. And he woke up, and it seemed really late, but it was still dark outside. And his cookum was up by the fire cooking breakfast, and she looked at her grandson and said, Grandson, did you leave a snare out last night? He's like, yeah, Cookum, but what time is it? Like, where's the sun? And the Cookum said, Grandson, if you left a snare out outside last night, you better go check what you caught. He's like, but it's so dark, Cookum. She said, I know, you should go check what you caught. He said, okay, Cookum. And so she packed him a nice little lunch, and off he went to figure out where the sun was and why it wasn't coming up, but also to figure out what he'd caught in his snare. And so by the time he got there, it was so dark walking there, but the closer he got, the brighter it got until he realized his mistake. He had caught the sun. He thought, oh no, what am I going to do? I have to release the sun. And so he tried to get closer and closer, but it was so bright and so hot, and he couldn't cut away at all of the snare. And it was so strong because he only made the best and strongest snares. And so he asked all of the animals, animals, you have to help me. You have to free the sun. And they said, of course, we'll try and help you. So first the wolf tried to gnaw on it, and all he did was burn his nose. And so from that point forward, many of our beautiful wolves have these beautiful dark black noses. And he said, well, who else is going to be able to do it? And the bear said, well, I have sharp claws and I have sharp teeth. Let me try. And so the bear's paws at the time were very, very furry and fluffy. He was a very fluffy animal. And so as he got closer and he tried to tear and claw and chew at the ropes, well, his nose started to get very bald and black. His paws, all of the hair burnt off them, and he could not claw into it enough. And he said, I can't do it. I've tried and I've barely cut a little bit of the snare away. And look at my paws. They're bare paws. And this is why the bear has bare paws. Sorry, that was a terrible pun. And then all of the animals were trying and failing and trying and failing. Even the sparrow tried to get closer. And as it did, it started to squint and peck and peck and peck. But all it did was burn its little beautiful beak. And all of the animals said, I don't think anyone will be able to free the beautiful sun from this strong snare. And all of the animals had given up hope. And that little boy didn't know what to do. And then there was a little voice saying, I can try. And everyone looked around and they said, who said that? And they heard the little voice again, I can try. And as they looked down, they saw the adorable little mouse, very, very white, with beautiful bright teeth brimming at them, saying, I can try. I have very sharp teeth. I can probably bite through most things. Let me try. And they said, okay, mouse, you can try, but you're so small. And she said, I know, but my teeth are sharp and I'm persistent. So she climbed up and she started chewing on where she knew was the weakest part of the snare. She chewed and she chewed and she chewed and she chewed, and as she chewed, her poor little fur kept blackening and blackening and blackening until she was nothing but all sooty and gray and brown and burnt, until there was a loud snap and the whole snare burst open and the sun shot far into the sky and was determined to never touch the earth again. So these shenanigans never happened. And so as she shot up in the sky, or as he shot up in the sky, grandfather's son, all of the animals were so thankful to the mouse, and the mouse was so proud. She stood up and puffed out her chest proudly and smiled brightly. And she said, I'm glad I could help. But her teeth were completely burned. And this is now why the mouse has brown teeth. And that is why the mouse has brown teeth. That's my Auntie Frida Hinneke story. And so I think I'm going to share the laughing song. So the laughing song is a Cree song. It is from the Four Winds Singers, and it's also called the Happy Song. In it, it teaches us not to take ourselves too seriously, but also just to enjoy life, because life is too short to be so serious all the time. Oops. I have another drum over there because I moved that one out of the way. There we go. And so this is a laughing song. Way hi yo, way ah ya yo, way ho, way ho, why yo, way ho, way ho, way ho, way yo, way yo, way yo, way hi yo, way ah ya yo, way ho, why yo, way ho, way ho. friends. So the next one I want to share, I'm thinking a lot about the water song and also the Thunderbird song. And so I think I'm going to share the Thunderbird song because I want to call in the Thunderbird. I know that we're probably going to get snow this week or next week. I feel it, and the bear had something to say about that for sure. But just really honoring the Thunderbird, because when it comes in, when that thunder roars for the first time, that's when all of the plants will start to wake up. That's when spring has finally arrived, when you actually hear thunder. I was so excited because last night I heard rain and then no thunder. And so I was like, oh, it's not here yet. It's not ready yet. And so, yeah, this is the Thunderbird song. Kichima peso, mani tu kichiwai no, wea heya heya yo, wea heya heya yo, we hi we yo. Kichima peso, mani tu kichiwai no, wea heya heya yo, wea heya heya yo, we hi we yo. Kichima peso, mani tu kichiwai no, wea heya heya yo, wea heya heya yo, we hi we yo. Kichima peso, mani tu kichiwai no, wea heya heya yo, wea heya heya yo, we hi we yo. Kichima peso, mani tu kichiwai no, wea heya heya yo, wea heya heya yo, we hi we yo. So because May 5th is coming up and I'm thinking of some really strong and amazing women, I would like to share the Strong Woman song. And yeah, I love the Strong Woman song. So the Strong Woman song is an OG Cree song, and originally it was known as the Turtle song. But it, of course, because the turtle is connected to Grandmother Moon, it's connected to our women's cycles, our moon cycles. It has 13 bumps in the middle to represent the 13 moons in a year, and 28 ridges along the outside to represent those 13 days in a year. But also, our beautiful Mother Earth is a turtle, right? She's our turtle's back. So this is why we call her Turtle Island in certain teachings. But it's just really about honoring that strength and then nurturing that lifeblooded, life-giving power of water, of our earth, of our ancestors before us. And so, yeah, this is the Strong Woman song. When I sing it, I kind of rise up a little bit, because to me it sounds like women coming together and rising above any challenges that we may face. And so this is the Strong Woman song. And do it as a heartbeat, which is the women's or honor beat, or a healing beat. it 5 times, and usually it's because the star people want to get in on the action. So yeah, honor those star people because they're part of us. It's our extended family. And so I want to share, I could probably share a couple more songs. And so I've really been thinking about the Women's Honor Song. And Joan Henry, who is just amazing. She's Arapaho Cherokee. And I'm very, very thankful that she had shared this song, and then it's really kind of become like open for anybody to share it. So I think it's such a beautiful gift to be able to share songs with community. I feel the same way like about the Chickadee song that I kind of wrote, and I'm just like, everybody can use it. So I'm going to be recording it in May, which is going to be exciting, and going to be able to share it with many, many, many more people. So it'll be a beautiful gift to be able to share the song and the story and just the teachings behind it. But yeah, and I feel the same way when there's all of these incredible people who have actually recorded all of these songs and shared them for time immemorial, and I think it's such a gift. And so yeah, Joan Henry is one of those people. And so this is the Women's Honor Song. Anagea. Anagea, we ha we ha, we ha no we ha we ha we ha we ha we ha ha. Anagea, we ha we ha, we ha no we ha we ha we ha we ha ha. We know way, no way, excuse me. We know way, no way, we know way we are. We know way, no way, we oh hey we are. We high, we high, we high, we are. Anagea, we ha we are. We ha no way, we ha we are, we ha we are, we are. We no way, no way, we no way, we are. We no way, no way, we oh hey we are, we high, we high, we high, we are. Anagea, we ha we are, we ha no way, we ha we are, we ha we are, we are. We no way, no way, we no way, we are. We no way, no way, we oh hey we are, we high, we high, we high, we are. Anagea, we ha we are, we ha no way, we ha we are, we ha we are, we are. We no way, no way, we no way, we are. We no way, no way, we oh hey we are, we high, we high, we high, we are. Anagea, we ha we are, we ha no way, we ha we are, we ha we are, we are. Anagea, we ha we are, we ha no way, we ha we are, we ha we are, we are. We are. Awesome. So maybe I will do the Chickadee song. So we usually do this as a call and response because it's the chickadee calling out and we're calling back. So it's a song that teaches us about listening, about paying attention, listening to each other, listening to each other's voices. The chickadee never interrupts each other when they're talking to each other. They listen, and the reason they do that is they actually have an ability in their brain. They shut down their language cortex when another bird is talking to them so they can actually hear what the other bird is saying. We don't have that option, but we can close our mouths. So there's that. Awesome. And so this is the chickadee song. And so the last song I want to share tonight is the thank you song. So Miigwech everyone for joining me tonight. And yeah, this song, the little kiddos at Nitsitapi School helped me with, and I'm very thankful. They are just so adorable, and I'm always really thankful. And I feel like they're family, and it's awesome. And so this is the thank you song. So it has words to say thank you. So hi, Miigwech, and Marcy to say thank you. Hi, Miigwech, Marcy. Hi, Miigwech, Marcy. From me to you, Marcy, Marcy. Hi, 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 Mugwitch, Mugwitch, Marcy, Marcy. From me to you, from me to you, and you to me, and you to me. Hi, 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 Mugwitch, Mugwitch, Marcy, Marcy. Last time. Way-oh, hey-oh, way-oh, hey-oh. Way-oh, hi-oh, way-oh, hi-oh. Way-oh, hey-oh, way-oh, hey-oh. Way-oh, hi-oh, way-oh, hi-oh. Hi, hi, Mugwitch, Mugwitch, Marcy, Marcy. Hi, hi, Mugwitch, Marcy, Marcy. From me to you, from me to you, and you to me, and you to me. Hi, hi, Mugwitch, Mugwitch, Marcy, Marcy. Last time. Hi, hi, Mugwitch, Mugwitch, Marcy, Marcy. Yeah, Mugwitch, everyone. Hi, hi. Thank you so much, and Marcy as well, for joining me tonight. I'm just really thankful and humbled that I was able to share in such a good way, a fun way, and I'm just really thankful that everybody could join me. So, yeah, I will be back. I will be back next week. Yes, I will be back next week. And again, if you want to make sashes this weekend, I'll be making sashes at Arts Commons. I'll do Métis finger weaving introduction on Saturday. And then if you're brave enough, the, the more advanced weaving is on Sunday. And you can just check my website, create.ca, C-R-E-E, the number 8.ca, for any of my workshops. Actually, I have a Mother's Day ribbon skirt making workshop, the last ribbon skirt making workshop. We made these lovely skirts. Check out the pockets, Okay, that's the selling point right there, the pockets. I've always wanted a skirt with pockets, and now I have one that I made. But it's just a beautiful way to kind of connect with other people in the community, and so I'm very thankful and blessed to be able to share. So I will see you next week. Again, keep your calendars open for May 5th, which is Red Dress Day, and that's when we will be having that beautiful event at the in Mulkinstis. We're going to be having it at the Row of Crosses, and so that's where we'll be hanging red dresses. And of course, we're always looking for volunteers, so shoot me a text or a quick message, and I will connect you to the right people. So, Miigwech, everyone. Hi, hi. Good night, and I will see you next week. Love you. Bye. Sucky hit the win.